Laker Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Lakers Report. Appreciate all of you for rocking and rolling with us. Fascinating show on the docket for you today as we take a look at some updated buyout targets that the Lakers could sign ahead of March 1's deadline. Now, that March 1 deadline is really important because all teams in the NBA need to make signings prior to that for those players then to be playoff eligible. Now, of course, Rob Pelinka was asked about the Lakers adding a player to this roster that I think has massively improved following the NBA trade deadline. And here's what he had to say. If we see the right opportunity to fill a need in the buyout market, we will take a look at that. But I don't want to definitively say that we'll sign another player. We feel like these 14 players certainly fill a need. He went on to say that this is kind of the roster that Darvin Ham likes right now as they continue to tinker with it, make some improvements, and try to make a run at a playoff spot in the Western Conference. So without further ado, let's take a look at buyout candidate number one, and it's a player who the Lakers are familiar with because he was playing in the same city. That is John Wall. What a storyline it would be if the Lakers let go of Russell Westbrook. He goes to the Clippers. The Clippers let go of John Wall. Then he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't think it's going to happen because both John Wall and Russell Westbrook are very similar players at this point in their respective careers. Still really good athletes, but the game has kind of passed them by to a certain degree as both of them have not made the necessary strides in shooting the basketball. And for John Wall, pretty underwhelming with the Clippers after not playing a year ago because he couldn't come to a buyout with the Houston Rockets. And with the Los Angeles Clippers this year, Wall, 11.5 points per game, but the huge concern for him, sub 41% from the field. Basically, this would be like effectively trading Russell Westbrook for John Wall. Lakers could have done it. I actually think that John Wall would have been the better addition and the better fit on this team as compared to Russell Westbrook. I told you at the time of the trade I hated it. I listed the reasons why. A lot of you ripped me in the comment section, but at the end of the day, I ended up being right for once. So would you sign John Wall? Let us know down in the comment section. Laker Nation, we want to hear from you as always. S for sign, P for pass. I'm going to submit my P. If you agree with me, cool. If not, type S for sign. Next up, DeMarcus Cousins. Former Laker great. Just kidding. But DeMarcus Cousins at this point, obviously a shell of himself. Not the same player who he once was when he was balling out with the Sacramento Kings. He was so good with the New Orleans Pelicans, him teaming up with Anthony Davis. He pops his Achilles, hasn't been the same guy since. But for about 8-9 years, DeMarcus Cousins was one of the best bigs in basketball, averaging 20, 25 points per night to go along with 10 rebounds. People like to rip his personality. I liked it. Dude was a foxhole guy and a dog, a guy who is never scared of anybody. Last year, I actually did think that he played solid basketball with the Denver Nuggets. 9 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, 46% from the floor, 30% from three. But on some nights, he actually played some meaningful minutes for Denver, and I thought that he did play pretty well. But unfortunately for him, not the same player who he once was when he was on this unbelievable trajectory, potential Hall of Fame career for DeMarcus Cousins. Could still get there because it's the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. He was pretty good at Kentucky, really good there for almost a decade, sustainably with the Sacramento Kings, and then partially there for the New Orleans Pelicans. But when you look at the Lakers' big man options right now, this is why DeMarcus Cousins could be an option, and this is why the Lakers could explore maybe bringing him in, although some might argue, yeah, Serge Ibaka probably the better addition there. Anthony Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, who played great basketball against the Dallas Mavericks, might end up being one of the more underrated acquisitions at the NBA trade deadline. Mo Bamba and then Wenyen Gabriel as well. So those are the big options on this Lakers roster. Rob Pelinka kind of alluded to the fact that he's content with the current construction of this squad. Is Boogie cooked? Another poll question for you. Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. Unfortunately, probably yes. I saw him playing some pickup hoop, but anytime an NBA player plays pickup basketball, they look really good because they're going up against cats like me who I can shoot the three, but if Boogie Cousins backs me down, I ain't stopping him. All right, Elfrid Payton. We go from one big in DeMarcus Cousins and a guard in John Wall to a prototypical point guard in Elfrid Payton. Obviously has not lived up to the expectations of being that first-round pick back several years ago, but if the Lakers want a pass-first facilitator of the basketball, that is the identity of Elfrid Payton. A lot of experience under his belt, 500 games played, 10 points per game during that span. He's a good rebounder for his size, less than 6 times. His vision is great, but his offensive game really became stagnant and it flatlined because he never really made the necessary improvements there, and there just wasn't a lot of room to grow. When he was drafted in the lottery by the Sixers, then traded to the Magic, they were projecting him to fill out his body, to build upon that offensive arsenal, on top of him being a good distributor of the rock. Unfortunately for him, though, never really ended up turning into a well-rounded offensive player. Could, though, fill the shoes of Patrick Beverley for intense defense, limited offense, and very, very good vision. The Lakers' point guards right now, ironically enough, both going to be unrestricted free agents. And as Marshall Green has talked about here on the show, as a lot of people know, heading into this offseason, massive question marks at that point guard spot for a Lakers team that has Anthony Davis and LeBron James under contract, and 2 of the current point guards on this roster here to my right, in D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder, both going to be unrestricted free agents. More buyout candidates to get to, including a really intriguing name who was just let go by the Detroit Pistons. But first, some great deals that we want to tell you about. Head to chatsports.com/Lakers hats. Bunch of great deals here. Some of these hats are up to 60% off if you're trying to get swagged up and swagged out. And you can wear hats any time of the year, regardless of where you live. And in the process, you can support your squad in the Los Angeles Lakers. Just please make sure you use that link right below me. It's chatsports.com/Lakers hats. Therefore, Fanatics knows that ChatSports sent you. We're going to put that link in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. Nerlens Noel now just agreed to a buyout with the Detroit Pistons. This is somewhat surprising news because he was looked at as a buyout candidate after he was not traded. Then there were some rumblings that he and the Pistons were not going to come to an agreement on a buyout, but that never really made a lot of sense to me because they have Jalen Duren, who's been balling out as a rookie, and they traded for James Wiseman, but he's officially been bought out by the Detroit Pistons, and I think that this is a player who can help a playoff-level squad with some really good rim protection. He can run the floor extremely well. He's always been a really good rebounder, but blocking shots is really his forte. A team like the Dallas Mavericks really could use a player like this because by trading away Dorian Finney-Smith, they got offense in Kyrie Irving but gave away defense by giving away the man that they called Dodo. And at that rim spot, Nerlens Noel can really protect the rim as good as anybody out there. Does not give you a lot offensively. This year his minutes are down, less than 11 minutes per night, and because of that, the production has completely just gone down and off a cliff. But for a team like the Los Angeles Lakers, he comes in and plays 10, 15 minutes per night of energetic basketball, and he can give you still high-level defense, and off that pick and roll with a guy like LeBron James, he could still be a force coming off some of that two-man action and throw down some dunks off the alley-oop. So Noel probably ready to help right now, a lot more so than a guy like DeMarcus Cousins. So with that, let's ask you this, another poll question here, because we love hearing from Laker Nation. Shout out a name down in the comment section, a player who you think the Lakers should sign. And as always, we appreciate you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.